Welcome in everybody to the Solar Eclipse in Libra live stream. So today we are going to be going through what does a solar eclipse mean? How is this going to be impacting us? What new moon is going to, or what is this new moon bringing us that we may not have anticipated before? There's a lot to this solar eclipse on a deeper scale than what most people are talking about or what most people are probably saying around. So this is going to be the time frame for us to tap in, tune in, and break down all the specifics behind here. For any of y'all who are here and you want to know what's happening exactly to you for this solar eclipse in Libra time frame, I'm doing my last mini reading card pull. So, for those of you who want to get some cards pulled just specifically for you, this is going to be your time to do so. I'm going to be transitioning myself from doing the tarot pulls to doing more astrology related mini readings just because I really do enjoy the concept of being in the chart and breaking down those different layers depending on what you're aiming for. Just wanted to let you all know that in this process. However, I'm going to be making sure that we get into your astrology, breaking it down specifically how all these shifts, the new moons, full moons, etc., are happening for you. And I'm also doing master classes again. So for those of y'all who have been looking to get more information about astrology from a trusted and reliable source, I'm going to be dropping the master classes for free. But the mini readings always help out. And if you think of it like a ticket price, that makes it easy. And maybe you're paying it along to somebody else who gets to watch it, who might not be able to get one for themselves. So, all that being said, welcome into the solar eclipse in Libra. This is one of those eclipses that is going to change the scope of how you view relationships, beauty, charm, how you put yourself out into the world, right? The reason why all this is happening as well is because if you look at the world that we're living in right now, we live in a space, in a spirit of division. And what I mean by this is that every person is coming from so many different angles depending on what they deem their reality is. And because of that, there's so much change and there's so much distraction that ends up going on. We can spend all of eternity if we wanted to, going back and forth between is astrology real? Is it actually a thing? Or, hey, all of these things are happening. How can we utilize it together? It's not specifically just about astrology, though. That might be the way that I relate to it, right? Because there's so many people that in my real life, I'll say something to that is astrologically sound. I don't necessarily do it on purpose, but I just study this so much that I'm just kind of in it, right? But it's really interesting where people maybe can't hear me say something that's important unless I have astrology behind it, or vice versa, where people will hear me out, but if I put the astrology behind it, they're like, what's happening? Right? Surf the energy regardless. You right, Ann, and what's good? Hello to everybody over there in the live chat as well. Good morning from Australia. Hey everybody, what's good, honey? So yeah, yo. So you have your birth chart and that's it. You let me know. You need a birth chart reading of whatever design and you watching this. I am literally the guy to do it. I'm your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer if you let them tell it. Anyway, let's get into more of what this energy is truly about. And I have to kind of take a second because eclipses are definitely more difficult to channel or to understand why they're doing the things that they do. But in terms of the one that's happening right now in Libra, and for those of y'all who don't know, solar eclipse is just when the sun is blocked out by the moon. And imagine you are on a farm. All you do is like take care of your family and stuff. And you just look up in the sky and you just watch the thing that has been feeding you life and making sure you know what time to start to do stuff and to tell you when it's time to wake up and go to sleep. And you just look at up that in the middle of the day and it just disappears. Like I can't imagine the mind splitting nature of that before any information is out on it. And you're the first one to just experience it. But we have so much more information now, and solar eclipses have always been seen as omens, right? Because what it is that it's an omen of change. Now, if you talk to the wrong people, people talk about eclipses, and you would think that it's just the craziest thing that's happening in the world. Now, for those of y'all who are stupidly famous who watch me from a burner account, um, got y'all. Anyway, for those of y'all who are stupidly famous, people who have a lot of power typically are the ones that get impacted by eclipses, especially if there was an imbalance to the power that they had, right? For example, if I'm not mistaken, P. Diddy is a Pisces rising, if I'm not mistaken. And during the lunar eclipse in Pisces, that's when all this stuff came out, right? And beforehand, there was a whole 6 months. No one really heard about nothing. I don't even know if they could find him at the time. But once that eclipse happened, somebody who was high up in the industry, who's high up in those businesses, who's high up into that energy, ended up getting called out for what it was that they were actually doing behind the scenes. So in this context, it's usually people that have a lot of power over other people that get most impacted by these eclipse cycles. So if you are a person living your day to day, you might not be getting hit with the eclipse in such a dramatic way, but what is happening is that shift that's within you, that's making the real change. That's what's making a real difference. So, what do I have to say about this solar eclipse in particular? If you watch my lunar eclipse video, I was talking about release. Lunar eclipses are super full moons. The biggest release behind what it is that you might have been going through. It's a big release behind what you might have been like dealing with in that regard prior. And there was a really strong notion about you getting tapped into your destiny now. Now, on the flip side of this, we also have the solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse is specifically what's happening right now. Now, the solar eclipse in Libra, again, sun gets blocked out. Okay, so what does that mean? Basically, when it does come to this, everyone's ego is getting put in check in a very different way than you might be used to. As a matter of fact, for those people who are just trying to do everything alone, completely by themselves, not let themselves collaborate, not actively let themselves partner with things, people, jobs, businesses, more, you can't do it by yourself. Like you literally cannot do this life thing all on your dolo. We need to have people in our world to sometimes remind us of what we do, right? To vice versa. Sometimes we remind them of how great they might be and how much they might help, right? We can't do and go about these things alone. And sometimes, actually, most of the time, when you're dealing with partnerships and other things like that, you're not dealing with somebody else who might be spiritual. You might not be dealing with somebody else who has done the same work that you've done. And if you're dealing with something like that, that's not for you to be like, hey, yo, like, ah, this person's gone or this person's lost. No, what this is about is that that person is going to find the other person in their world that matches that energy. You are going to start finding the people in your world that match that energy, which is why this is one of those let go and let the universe. It's not about your pretty little ego. This isn't about the things that you think that you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to go about things, the way that you think you're supposed to based off what other people said. What this is about is what is your heart yearning for? And how do we start to connect in order for us to co-create that? Not just with one another, but with the universe at large. So shout out to those of y'all who are over here on Instagram. Just letting you know, I'm over here on YouTube actually. I just wanted to kind of give y'all a little segment about how we get down over that way. So if you have the time frame, I see you right there. I'm looking up here. The focus on my camera's acting up is driving me crazy. That's okay. I'm scaring somebody on IG with these quotes. This is the real. This is the real. This is past the memes. This is past the memes. So if you want to get to the real, make sure you hit the link. I have all the mini readings up for the Libra as well. Yeah, I'm just, oh wait, hold on. Someone said they entered right as soon as I said, what is your heart yearning for? That's what that's about. So I'm gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna keep it rolling on here. Let me just type this in real quick. Appreciate y'all for showing up as well. Um, 1 second. Over on YouTube instead. Okay. And so it's funny, right? There we go. Boom, boom. Here we go. All right. Y'all know I'll be doing this live for real, for real. All right. So. That's this up. That's okay. That's fine. Whatever. We're out here. So back to what I was saying. With the solar eclipse in Libra, like, dude, this is really a dissolving of what's going on in terms of what it is that you initially wanted to do, to what it is your heart's yearning for, to how are you meeting in the middle ground of both of those things. So it's not going to look exactly the way that you might have planned out. It might not look exactly like the person that you were trying to manifest. But if you're somebody, let's say you were trying to manifest love, and all you were thinking of when you were manifesting love was, I need someone to care for me well. I need someone to treat me good. I need someone to like really feel like we're really like delving into something deep and real. And then the person comes to you, but they don't look exactly like your favorite celebrity. They don't look exactly the full physical attributes that you requested the universe. And then what you gonna do? You're gonna be like, well, this is like it, but it's just not quite right. So I just can't. And then you go about looking for something the entire time. Meanwhile, you're asking the universe for the same exact thing that it already tried to show you. You're still asking for the same things. And so when you can't take what's being like shown for like the real part of what it is, that's where the eclipse seasons do what they do to mess with people's feelings. And it messes up the psyche. I thought it was supposed to be exactly this. I did the law of attraction thing. I did the exact spell that this person on the internet told me to do. I did all this. Why isn't this coming through? It could have. It could have. But were you willing enough to get out of your own way to meld that in? Were you willing enough to get out of your own space to bridge that gap together? Or were you willing to compromise on part of what you thought to really seek the benefit of what's trying to be shown in front of you? Because if you do that, your world can completely change by the end of this eclipse season. However, if you're on the air of it needs to go my way, it needs to go my way exactly the way that I planned it out. It needs to go my way exactly to this. I need to get married at this time. I need to do this at this point. And I'm X years old. How have I not done that? You're gonna fail. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm not saying that to deter you from it. It's what you want. As a matter of fact, this is the opposite. How do you open up your heart during this next few days to the upcoming week? How do you get out of your own way enough to actually allow the universe to give you that other side? This isn't about the universe creating for you. It's co-creating on your actual desires. Maybe you got to be a little more specific, right? maybe you got to be a little more specific. Maybe you didn't ask for enough the first time. Or maybe you did ask for a lot and didn't realize that if you ask for a lot, you have to be prepared to show up for a lot, to be that other side of that a lot. Because where we talk about manifestation, a lot of people think it's just get. What do you give out into the world in order for people to actually like want to give back to you? This person, I expected this person to do this. Well, I hate to break it to you. This eclipse cycle that started in July of last year, and I'm on IG right now too. So in July of last year, when the North Node went into Aries and the South Node went into Libra, on the literal first day that happened, I sat there and I was like, this year and a half, 2 years of change is all going to be about us figuring out how we resonate and who's meant to come along for that ride. And I know for a fact, each and every one of you in here have been seeing changes in relationship structure, changes in how people are being viewed. Shoot, if we even want to look at the concept of how we've been watching, just like the people that we see grow. And then you see, oh, that person started growing. How did they start growing? Oh, they had to get rid of X, Y, and Z. Oh, they had to stop working for X, Y, and Z. Oh, they had to take time out for themselves. Don't we have that cliche all the time? Oh, they took time out for themselves. They got to learn how to find themselves. That has been every person's excuse in the book to not be in a partnership over the last 10 years of time. How many times have we been in a situation to where you needed just to have a little bit of vulnerability and say, oh, I'm not ready. Oh no, like I'm not perfect yet. What is perfect? You're not perfect. You here, you human, you ain't perfect. No matter how much deity stuff you do, no matter how many times you meditate, no matter how many that you're not perfect. Neither am I. Nobody is. But what we can do is actually decide, how do we want to strive towards our perfection? How do you define your rendition of success? And how can you figure out the people who are willing to hold you to that same regard, who are willing to meet you halfway and not fake halfway, right? There's a lot of fake halfway people out here. Oh, yeah, we're totally good. Only when it's convenient. What? Only when it's convenient? Oh, yeah, like I would totally do that, but I'm just so busy. Meanwhile, they on their couch not doing nothing, right? Now, granted, the other side of this, there could be the same connection. But the difference is, who's telling the truth? Who's speaking spirit to spirit? Who's speaking soul to soul? Who has the bravery enough to be like, actually, you want to know what? I've been dealing with a lot right now. I need to like sit out for a bit. Versus like, oh yeah, I'll totally be there. And I'm, oh, oops. Oh no, it's the last second. Sorry. Yet that person you're supposed to be connected to, right? Yeah, that person you're supposed to be whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Life is crazy sometimes. Things be happening. People be having to deal with whatever. Like, I'm not saying that there's like an impossibility factor to people not being able to like tap in. But what I am saying is that with the solar eclipse in Libra, you're going to really start to understand that difference. With the solar eclipse in Libra, you're really going to be able to see who is it in your world who isn't trying to put the wool over your eyes, right? Who is it in your world that's not trying to talk you out of your success? Now that's a kicker. Oh, you have to get in for that one. Okay. Some people love seeing other people win. I'm one of those people. I love it, right? I see somebody do something cool. I'm always like the first person. Like, you might even be in a chat somewhere else. You post something dope. I hit the fire emoji. I make sure to like it. I just be like, congratulations. When someone's birthday, I'll be like, happy birthday. Like, there's certain things to me that are important like that, right? Now, granted, oh, we losing followers on IG because they're going to YouTube. I see y'all. Okay, what's up? Say what's up. Say what's up in the chat. Make sure you hop into the actual stream part, I do be yapping. I am about to turn off the IG live so I can use my phone as like some of my notes and stuff. But regardless, just want to let you know it's over on YouTube instead. Okay. So the other parts of this, how are we defining the friendships, partnerships, relationships, and love scenarios that we want to be in? Because again, you know how many people that I know who are looking for the one, but they refuse to date? You know how many people I know who are looking for their Prince Charming or that one girl for them, and they refuse to like let themselves be rejected by something? You do know that like you have to be rejected in order for you to find like what it is that you actually want, right? Like, that there has to be some type of backlash, and that's what people get confused about the vibration of Libra. People up with the vibration of Libra or about the vibration of Libra, everybody thinks that like it's about peace and harmony and treaty and balance. And it's like, yeah, you do realize that like you gotta fight for all of those things. You have to fight for peace. You don't believe me? You have to fight for peace in a lot of cases, right? And whether that be your own personal peace, whether that be for just a serene situation, a lot of the times you still gonna have to like go back and forth before you find that middle ground. You're gonna have to go back and forth with the person that you want to be with about how do we have a middle ground? Where do we find common ground? And if we can't find common ground, What are we doing? And that's the other side of it. That's the part where things start to get scary. That's where people start to like overthink things. And if somebody makes you think more than you has the ability to have a conversation with, that's an indication that they may not be as for you as they initially said. Now, I get in Libra's head for a minute. It's brutal in their facts. And I'm gonna look at the comments in a bit. So please drop more if you have any questions, etc. in this process. I'm just going off. I am about to end this stream over on IG. I'm sorry. I saw one of y'all be like, I don't like YouTube for real. And that's okay. This is the Maverick show. This is not YouTube. This is my thing, you know? So it's a lot cooler, and a lot of other people are annoying everywhere. So, anyway, I appreciate the love for here. Just to let y'all know, because I'm gonna be taking more of a break from the social media thing on my own personal stuff. I will still be posting things. This is also to y'all. I'll still be posting things, but I need it off my phone because like I've been literally like, remember how I said at the beginning of the North Node and stuff? I have been on my phone every single day making stuff, like either a video or a meme or writing a newsletter. And I was like, yo, I need to like separate this, live my life, like hit up people that I know for real, talk to them. I'm a phone call kind of guy. Shout out to whoever just purchased something a second ago. I don't know which side it is. Even me doing this is the most Libra thing I've been doing today. Who needs more attention? Do you need more attention? Do you need more attention? Anyway, appreciate y'all. I'm about to dip out on this. So go over to YouTube because it's better there. Okay. Bye. Love y'all. Okay, cool. All right. I have ended that. No, I'm not going to save it over there. Come over to this side. I have been not in focus this whole time, and it's been bugging me out. And I have to change it. It's been just get my face. Come on. Spend so much money just work. It's driving me crazy. That's okay. I have to back up more. Mad extra for what? Anyway, so, just got a mini reading. It's lit. Let's go. Okay. Oh, speaking of, for anyone who is just popping in, I'm still doing the mini readings as well for Venus. That's all astrology based behind your Venus. And I'm going to probably pull an oracle card because I just like doing a little extra on everything. For those of y'all who want to get a mini reading for the solar eclipse, again, this is the last time I'm pulling cards for those mini readings. I think ending it off on a solar eclipse is a real indication of like change that's coming through. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all who have done that mini reading or do get mini readings from me, because you would be surprised about how that has helped me be able to just exist and to bring y'all more information and give me some sometimes it's just like, hey, worst case, I just got a meal that I just used to then finish out more stuff for y'all. So it's really one of those things that I just appreciate each and every one of y'all. And like I do know many of you like personally, or I've gotten to know y'all personally, which has been really cool. So just much love for real, for real. And I appreciate y'all. But these eclipses we're still in the middle of these eclipses. Like, we're still feeling the intensity of these eclipses. And in just a second, I'm about to go look at some of the chat. I'm about to tell y'all about a couple things that y'all should go to and check out and all that. So I'm gonna hop into that right now. Okay, let's do that. I really don't like how does this not focus? Come on, bro. No, come on. Oh, let's go. See me. No, not anymore. This is mad. What did I do? What have I done? Okay, that's fine. All right, so it was bugging me out the whole time. The mini readings are accurate and helpful AF. This is from somebody who also like be in my full readings regard. So like shout out to you. I'm glad that the mini readings be accurate. I'm going to be even more accurate because I'm going to be doing the astrology more so. I do like doing tarot, and I will be asking for feedback from everyone who got a mini reading tarot wise as well, because I just want to make an offering that fits the needs of the people. Whether that be like a recorded one that I'm like, here's 30 minutes of me just pulling cards, whatever the case may be. I'm just figuring out what that is. And I appreciate y'all for allowing me to explore and not always expecting me to do the same exact thing all the time, because that's very unmaverick of me if I was just trying to do the same thing all the time. Anyway, okay, let's move on over. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Okay, that's fine. We have figured it out. This right here is my newsletter in case y'all haven't been on. Because I'm slowly leaving the ilk of the social media um ups and downs. Now, granted, I got 20K subscribers on the literal platform that they say you can't grow on in the year where they say you couldn't grow on it. So I know a couple things. Like we still gonna do that. But this is gonna be the newsletter that I have. Feel free to subscribe to it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more love into my newsletter. I'm trying to like bring in for a long time. My newsletter to me was just like, I need to just make something and get it out there. So like sometimes it's a little bit more robotic feeling, you know what I'm saying? But like I want to make it more personalized. Like I'm sending y'all like a letter. You know what I'm saying? I want to really get into that more. But ooh, Venus in astrology. You should check out my masterclass on that. Anyway, so this is one of my more robotic ones. Not as proud of it. Ooh, I was so good at this. See, this is the stuff I want to do. Oh, actually, someone asked a really good question. I want to get to that, so I don't forget. What's my take on the higher octaves of Scorpio energy, and what can we learn? Okay, my take on the higher octaves of Scorpio energy. Let's apply this to the solar eclipse a little bit, right? Because the solar eclipse, because it's in Libra, and Venus is the ruler of Libra. Venus is in Scorpio right now. So with the solar eclipse happening, technically, the reason why it's going to be so intense for everybody emotionally is because the solar eclipse is utilizing the higher vibrations of Venus and Scorpio, which Venus and Scorpio at its worst, power hungry, greedy, just trying to grab everything. And like, I'm gonna take this over and like I own it and nothing can leave my claim and like I'm going to be secret. Like that's the bottom barrel of Venus and Scorpio. A Venus and Scorpio at its awakened side is the Phoenix. It is the like, yo, I've been through the gutter. Now here I am to like bring light onto things, right? So with the Scorpio energy at the higher octave, at least, and I'm not talking about the synastry part. I'll do something on synastry sometime soon. Sometime soon I'll do something on synastry. No direct date, but I will keep that in mind. Um, but yeah, so when it comes to at least the higher octave portion of this is a rebirth that you weren't expecting. It's more so like a rebirth that you don't even like try to anticipate. That's how deep these eclipses work with us. You get what I'm saying? Um, Someone said that they're confused with the housing systems and sticking with it. I would recommend two things for anyone who is watching this, right? First of all, I have an astrology 101 that's still on sale that you should just go check out. But if we're talking about house systems, I am a tropical astrologer, right? Tropical, Western Hemisphere, Placidus astrologer. I use whole sign when I round things. So I am also very aware of how whole sign systems work. I choose Placidus for my own personal reasoning, and I feel like it has worked more. It has made me feel more of a scientist in my astrology than like a generalist. Not to say that there's some cold, super dope whole sign astrologers. Like I know a few. They're super dope. They give you a little bit of a different perspective. I go with Placidus. But if you're just learning for the first time and it's overwhelming when you see like, let me see, if it's overwhelming to you when you see just like all of this. Oh, okay. I was just making sure this wasn't someone else's chart. I was like, oh my God, I hope not. It's not. We're good. Okay. But if you just see, 1 second. Yeah, media training, man. Okay. So when you just see all of these lines and you're like, what's going on? And you're confused and it bugs you out. That's when I would say just check out whole sign. Just go start with whole sign. And when you're comfortable enough, go into Placidus and look at what's different. You will have a very different time. When is the eclipse? Somebody asked. It is October 2nd. So let's just stay on here for right now. Let's dig into more of this eclipse, right? Would love to know what about the ascendant in the first house starts basically. Good question. So in general, and I'm gonna go into the eclipse in betweens after this, but let's get it. The eclipse is Wednesday, but we are already feeling it because that's just how eclipses move, bro. Like they're just like, oh, here it's time. time to start feeling everything. It's like, come on, dog. Anyway, that is how that happens. So let's get into, let me see. So, okay, someone asked about the first house. And where does the first house usually start? So this is a good question, and I totally get it. So if you can see, I think you can see yeah. So if I'm circling right here, the ascendant, which is the most important part to your astrology, let me get that out. If you don't know what time you're born, figure it out. If you really don't know what time you're born, hire me to figure it out for you. Because once you know your rising sign, that's the sign that you rise into as you gain more authority on your life. So you might be living your whole life trying to be your sun sign. And then once you start to learn your rising sign and dig into that, that's who you become. You know what I'm saying? So, so the other parts of this, if we're looking at this rising, so even in this chart specifically, this isn't how it's going to work for everybody, but in this specific chart, this is Sagittarius rising. And you see how the first house is right here, in that line in between the first and 12th house. No matter what thing that you're looking at in Placidus, it'll be right here. Now, for people who look at whole sign, it'll show up as AC and it'll be somewhere a little different. But for right now, just for example purposes, it's always going to be right here. So that's pretty much where that's at. Okay. If you don't know the location, date, or time of birth, that's why we're going to talk about that some other interesting. We're going to talk about this some other point. But let me get into this right now because I don't want to get distracted too much. Appreciate y'all for being, hopping in and everything else. But I really want to break down what this is, especially while I'm on that way I am right now. Okay. So this right here is my swag. No plan. But this right here though, this is the lunar eclipse. Oh, you're fortunate. I thought you said you didn't. I apologize. As you see, I'm about to just get into this astrology. Don't listen to me until I talk astrology. Okay, we're talking astrology. Let's get it. So we're getting into the lunar eclipse. Sorry, solar eclipse. See what I'm saying? We're just having those moments, eclipse season things. The moon being in Libra, and also Mercury being here, which we didn't even get into yet, right? So Mercury in Libra. Let's talk about that for a second. Mercury in Libra is the Mercury change that has a lot to do with fairness, has a lot to do with contracts, and has a lot of mindset around like social status, not breaking the status quo. How do we communicate what we want the status quo to be, et cetera, right? So that's kind of like what Mercury and Libra does in that regard. So the other side to this, as it meets up with the solar eclipse, is that it's kind of like, I feel like the universe is trying to play mediator between you and the things that you're starting to come across, right? And that has to do with the Mercury and Libra portion. Remember how I said this is about partnership? How are you co-creating with the universe? This is what that is. What is your half of what you want? And the universe is going to give you the half of what's your destiny. And then if you let yourself get out of your ego, how things are supposed to go, and get out of what you think it's supposed to be, learn to just trust in that process. That's when the universe shows its other hand and it's like, congratulations, you've been working on the things that you care about. Here's a cookie. The problem is we want the cookie before we make the move. We want the cookie before we even start trying to like do the thing. And this is how we have gotten got by the capitalist regime. This is how we have gotten got by Pluto and Capricorn, to be so transparent. That's how we got by it, right? And so even with this change, clicking it again, so even with this change over there, right? We have on the other side of this, we have the North Node in Aries. Again, North Node in Aries was all about how do you identify yourself? Truly and utterly, no one else around, who are you? That's Aries. The more you bring that out, the more that you allow yourself to be that wild, free self that you are organically, right? Some people typically just by nature are more sensual than other people. Society might be like, that's not good, right? Some people are more intelligent than most folk. And then society will be like, that's good, into a point. And then it's not good. You might be more conventionally attractive. than some other people. And then society will be like, oh my God. And as soon as you're like, I do feel good about myself, society will be like, no, sit back down. That's the South Node in Libra, though. That's all the stuff that we used to do. That's all the stuff that we used to abide to. Why Mercury's here is because it's trying to change your mind behind what your ego thought was supposed to be happening, and to dig you into what you really feel when it comes to those things specifically. How do I know this? Do y'all see Mars up there? Mars at 15 degrees of Cancer. Oh boy, Mars at 15 degrees of Cancer. Also a very critical degree. This is actually where the tropic of Cancer is. That's a different discussion for another time. But what I can say is that like this is the point of a really deep, like this is the deepest part of the ocean. Like at Mars and Cancer, this is like diving to the deepest part of the ocean that everybody said you couldn't even go to. Like it was not even possible beforehand, right? So with that being said, when we're dealing with all of these relationship values when it comes to this eclipse season, and then we're also dealing with the Mars and Cancer split with that square that's going on, what it is that it's like you're learning how to properly put your feelings into those relationship constructs. So let's say in a previous relationship, you were terrible at communication. Okay. This new lunar eclipse is trying, or this solar eclipse is coming through, is trying to be like, hey, what if you talk through the whole thing? You get what I'm saying? Randall just said, as a Libra, you're not enjoying the Cancers in your life right now. Fair assessment. But with that fair assessment, the reason why that's like going on is because of that Mars and Cancer being like, hey, feelings are first. And Libra being like, actually, no, the status quo comes first. But when the solar eclipse in Libra destroys the status quo that you thought you had to uphold, what do you have left? When it destroys the status quo that you thought you had to do everything such a specific way, and then you could have just been yourself the entire time and got better results, what does that say? I know for some of y'all this is hidden, and I'm not trying to be too extra, but I have to be extra as an eclipse. I'm letting it be as it is, right? But yeah, someone said my communication is absolutely the worst, but the feeling to need to is growing. And that's the thing. And you want to know what? You just solved most of the eclipse right there. And the word right there is that I feel like I need to. It's the willingness to, right? And so what happens with eclipses and why most people view eclipses as bad is because in most cases, we think the human ego is stronger than the universe. We think that the will that we have. And that's the reason why when you think about it, when people pray, when people intend, when people do all these rituals for like money or like something else, you know how many people are trying to just like gain monetary value all by themselves? You know how many people are like trying to do that in that process? And does it always work for them? Can it always work for them? That's not always how it goes, right? Because everybody's trying to get the same thing. People aren't manifesting wealth or a feeling of feeling wealthy. They're trying to get the thing. And when everyone's trying to get the thing and take it from the other and take it from the other, nobody's going to win. They're not going to win. This is about collaboration. This is about partnership. This is about how do you get along with that person that you don't get along with? Can you find common ground? Can you find something that y'all relate to? Right? Because some of the people talk about peace all the time. People talk about peace and we need to be equal and everyone should be good to each other, but they're not willing to like put in the grunt work of what that's supposed to look like. You get what I'm saying? Like I earned my peace because I fought for it. So when y'all see me on stream or you see me chilling or some other part of things and, oh, wow, this is this. Like I fought for my rendition of what peace can look like for me. Because I can guarantee you it wasn't just handed to me. It wasn't just handed to me. It wasn't just like, hey, man, you want to know what? You should just go follow your dreams. And I was like, wow, thank you. And I grabbed it and I instantly transported myself to LA. And I just randomly was inside of like working in this astrology world. And y'all just magically popped up. And I was like, wow, thanks. That's not how that works. Not how that goes. For the people who are too scared or too cowardly to let themselves feel through that process, to let themselves have their ups and downs. Everything's an ebb and flow. Everything's an ebb and flow. I sit here and tell y'all about this every single month. We have a new moon of restorative new stuff. And we have a full moon of letting all that go. And it's not fully linear, but this is as close as we gonna get to that science of that, right? So with that being said, I know I'm going off, but hey. With that being said, this is what the solar eclipse is trying to do. It wants you to feel into how you're feeling. Even what I was just saying a second ago, very Mars in Cancer. I fought for this. I fought my whole life, right? I was even explaining in a reading earlier, like there's a reason why I just started letting myself wear my like head wraps and stuff when I do like my streams. This is really what I be wearing, right? If I'm not in the mood to like, it's a lot of maintenance to whatever. Like I have very long hair. So like for me to be like, oh man, I have to like do this, or I have to put it up a certain way, or I have to do this and I have to be presentable, right? It's like, do I? Because I would prefer somebody come to my stream, see beyond the fact that I'm a black man wearing a head wrap with long hair. What does he know about this? And keep moving on. And sat here to listen to like what's just coming out of somebody else's mouth. We are so beyond that back and forth stupid shit that we've been dealing with for so long, right? I apologize. I know that there's some of the youth that listen to me. I apologize. But at the same time, they've heard worse. And also, this is just really what's going on, right? So to get into this next rendition of like what's really going on to all of these things, you don't have to compromise your soul to be all that you want it to be. You don't have to lose out on like the core part of who you are just to appease to something else. What we're seeing happening in the news, what we're seeing happening in media, what we're seeing happening into all these different reigns and circles and media and everything else, right? What's happening to all that is the exposure. Pluto and Capricorn. I haven't done a full stream on Pluto and Capricorn. I'm kind of waiting to see how the rest of this case plays out with the whole Diddy thing. But like the Pluto and Capricorn notion of that is like all the authority that you used to put all of your power into is showing their true face. And I need you to go look this stuff up, and don't look it up on a news article that they pay off. Go look it up on Twitter. Go look it up on TikTok. Look it up on something that doesn't have any monetary value or gain in what it's about. And you're gonna find so many people that are willing to tell you the truth. When in history has that ever happened before now? When in history has that ever happened before the last 5 years of time? It didn't exist before that. It was not happening before that. So trying to be the true to that core version of me, here's something that I kind of want to like be real with y'all about. Cause like I know it's not nobody's fault. There's a lot of, I'm trying not to cut too much. There's a lot of bullshit in my field, in other things that I've seen. I can't even sit here and explain to you the in-betweens of the in-betweens of some stuff that I have witnessed in this job that I do. Now, granted, there's some real people. I call them up right now, have a great conversation, give them a hug. Great people. And there's some people that are worse. I'm gonna keep it a stack. There are some people who are worse than like the most annoying person in high school who was just trying to crush everybody to get to the top. There are some people that are worse than that in this field too. But you want to know what's crazy? I love them all. I love them all for what it is. I love them all for what it is. And the reason why the love of what that is because like, even despite, let's say, some of the relationships or some of the friendships that have fallen out, I learned so much from, whether that be about life, whether that be about love, whether that be about people. in general, right? We always hearken this concept of relationship like everything has to be infinite. We always hearken these situations like, oh, I got this job, I need to stay in this thing forever or else I have no worth. That's not how this works. The only constant is change. And if you're with people that are willing to change alongside you, that's real relationship. That's real friendship. That's actual genuine love. And although we are in 2024, and yes, some of the older situations of things are cooked. I just watched an entire uh video yesterday about how people are saying that dating apps are the worst now, right? Like people have fallen so out of love with dating apps in general. This is not shade to the other spot I was working at. Uh but to continue but to continue going forward though, dating apps have not been like working with people. But then if you look at the business portion, there's two things about dating apps. And I want to point this out because this is about solar eclipse in Libra, and Libra's about relationships, right? So for all the dating apps that came out, Tinder, Hinge, etc. Did you know that 85% of them, if not 90% of them, are all owned by the same company? Did you know that? Did you know that? I bet you didn't. I think Bumble's the only one that's separate. But all the like most of the other dating apps are owned by the same company. They're owned by the same people. You're like never liked dating apps. I think the concept of dating apps really struck through for the millennial and Gen Z generation. For those of y'all who are in the know, the Pluto and Scorpio and Pluto and Sagittarius generation, right? For people who have Pluto and Libra in your charts or early Pluto and Scorpio, you never had to deal with it. Y'all were married off. To be honest, like y'all got married off so much younger. Now in this diaspora of the game, so to speak, so many people are like to themselves, right? Or like they are doing their own thing. And I think a lot of people are really, really trying to find true connection. And if it's not true connection in just like romantic relationships, they're at least trying to find something like this here. A lot of y'all are even just attracted to my work or come through for the live streams. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all who do. But a lot of y'all come through because you know I'm not BSing y'all. I don't have it in me to sit here and do that. If I was trying to do that, I wouldn't have sat here for 5 years going in between being broke, having money, doing all this other stuff to make sure that I can continuously live my truth if that was my goal. You get what I'm saying? So like the goal is that like when I started off in this, I was in my bedroom with a mic, a little webcam, on BS light, trying to make it happen. It's the same thing. We just reinventing it. We're reinventing the different vibes. And so when it comes to you and your truth, right? And this goes back to like, I'm gonna hearken this a little bit to what's it called? I want to hearken this a little bit to like Barbies and stuff, or like action figures. Like think about how long ago we get programmed into just having to like do a certain thing. And I think the biggest showing of this happens to be just within the queer community in terms of people in the LGBTQ plus community. Because if we look at stuff, right? Remember when screw all that. Remember when the Barbie movie came out? Remember when the Barbie movie came out? And there were so many people who were trying to be like, oh, you're either gonna go see Barbie or Oppenheimer. You know, all the girls are gonna see Barbie. All the guys are gonna see Oppenheimer. And then you look at it and it's like, or, or, or people were just trying to see a good movie, right? Back in the day, and there was action figures. At least when I was growing up, I'm a '90s kid. There were action figures. There were dolls. What's the difference between an action figure and a doll? I would love for one of y'all to let me know. Aside from jargon, aside from marketing talk, what's the difference between a toy that's an action figure or a doll? But when you look at how we get told what that is, right? It's like, I had something. There we go. Like No matter how we sit up this or talk about this, like this is still a figurine. Yeah, it's cool. It's still a figurine. I don't know what's happening with my focus. I'm gonna have to fight my camera after this. But the idea when it comes to this though is that we get told all of these things. And so for the Pluto and Scorpio generation, y'all were the ones to really make the fight against this, right? Y'all were the ones to do the first genuine, like, screw this, we're gonna do something else. The media started to open up more things, right? There was like, I remember there was a like there's a time frame, even in like cartoons and stuff. I'm a Power Rangers kid. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, I was the Red Ranger. Then when I saw the Green Ranger, I said, no, I'm the Green Ranger. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I used to play Power Rangers outside with the homies when I was like in elementary school. I was a Red Ranger every time though. You know what I'm saying? Like that was me. But it was like for the first time in like media that I saw at least was they had like a black character. They had a black Power Ranger. They had an Asian Power Ranger. They had a Latino Power Ranger, right? And I was like, whoa, that's different. Now, granted, they was wrong about the colors when they first came out. I'm not gonna put it past you. They was wrong about it. They could have done something else, but it was a different time. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna get into that. But what I can say as far as like how we're moving into the future, all of those like a lot of the this needs to be one certain way is being changed to what's actually appropriate based on who I'm talking to, right? And now, granted, I completely understand that there's some people where this is very new to. All of this concept is very new to. Why? Because they were feeding you a lie all throughout your times. And those same people that were feeding you alive and pushing the propaganda are the people that they were trying to say they weren't. So it's weird when it's like when you're older and it's like, wait, what do you mean? This person used to say so many bad things about people who are born of color. People used to say so many things bad about people who may have different sexual orientation. People used to do the worst and say the worst about people who just were different in general. But now we're in a world where we are exposed to so much, so many mindsets, aspects, things that we have to learn and relearn how to just treat each other as human beings, right? Matter of fact, I knew I wanted to spin this into this. I had my homegirl hit me up earlier today, right? Um, what did she say? What was it? Basically, oh no, this is what it was. So they posted on their story. They're vegan to give you this context. So basically, right? They posted a story, and on the story, I was like, and they always talk to me about veganism in general. But on their story, it was like grass fed cows. And so I don't drink the cow milk anymore. But like a lot of people still do. Whatever you do is whatever you do. I'm just giving you this information based on the information itself. What I can say is that like they were telling me like grass fed cows. And they showed me how they actually do it. And the reason why it's crazy is because they say, oh, we are treating them humane. Or we have humane ways to treat them. But then I had to sit there and think about it. And I was like, humanity don't even know what the word humane means anymore. Right? The only thing that matters at this point is that it's the concept of human. And why am I saying that? We have different technologies. We're gonna like in a few years, and I'm not saying this to be like conspiracy at all. This is real life stuff. In a few years, we're going to be having people really implementing like technology into their bodies and stuff. Like straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like not even on no conspiracy. Like they're gonna be like, yo, you're telling me that I can get my phone into my eyeball? Wow. Someone's gonna do it. And some of you are gonna be so against it. But will you be willing to hear out both sides of the situation? Can you hear both sides of the story without judgment first? Can you be in that position to like really hear out someone else's thing, even if you don't think that it's right? Because it might not be right. It might not be the right thing, but you live two different worlds. And now there's a difference between what's true, because all truths are half truths, as they say in the ancient texts, and what you feel to be right. And what you feel to be right. No lie, we already have people implementing tech. Yeah, we do. We do. We have had like all the stuff that they talk about with AI and everything else like that has been happening the entire time. Like I was there when I was first making music. There was a first time that they came out with something that was like AI mastering, because mastering engineers are stupidly expensive. And for somebody who was making music in my bedroom, I'm not paying $3,000 for somebody to look at one song. It's not gonna happen. So I ended up looking at that and it was like AI this, blah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And it helped it. How did it talk about it? It said algorithmic machine learning, right? That was the whole thing. And it was the pickup on that, and it was smart and it was whatever. It's like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we picked up a smartphone. How many years ago? How many years ago we first picked up a smartphone? Oh shoot, our phones are smart. How could they be smart? That's what we signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Literally, the new iPhones that are coming out have Apple Intelligence. So here's the part that I want to kind of break out to you as well, because it's not just about that. But people are having like full conversations and stuff. If you check out any of the streamers that are going on, any of the streamers, Kai Cenat, Duke Dennis, Senna, all them, if you actually watch them, they're trying to show you what the youth are doing and what they're into and what they like, right? They literally have videos. These are content creation people. I don't know if they sold their likeness. I don't know what happened, but they're having like AI conversations with people that they already know just to see what it's like, just to see what's going on. And here's the thing, they're still talking to something. Like, don't just disrespect the concept just because it's whatever. Like, you're still talking to something. You're still even building a relationship to it. And this is where things get tricky. Because when we think about it, Libra is the only inanimate object in the zodiac. The only quote unquote inanimate like icon, because everything else has something else. So even in terms of your relationship to machines, your relationship to social media, your relationship to all of those things, that's everything under this eclipse in Libra. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's way deeper than just that, right? Even your relationship to your nostalgia. Oh, the good old days where we just didn't. That's still a relationship. So a lot of astrologers again will start talking about relationships and just be like dating, love, romance. Do I still name stuff that? Of course, but it's deeper than that. Yes, there's more about that, you know? Anyway, all this to say, solar eclipse in Libra is really trying to have you gear in and tap in to what specifically you want in your relationship regards. So appreciate y'all for pulling up and pulling through. I'm about to hop over for a second to just take a second. I've been really doing my best to like woosah in between stuff, especially with these kind of things. So what I'm about to do, I'm gonna leave you with the BRB. Wait, hold on. Is this about taking your power back across all of these? This is about knowing that you're not subservient to anything. You are partners with that, right? So sometimes how do I put this? A lot of people say I might have a certain amount of star power or something else like that. Honestly, I just learn and exercise my astrology and I do my best to like be honest with myself. That's literally all it is. But it's more complicated than that. But that's the juxtaposition. That's you get my point. About taking your power back from these, it's like you didn't get hired by that company. You are partnering with that company to achieve tasks. It's a mindset change of like, if I don't have this, what's going on with me? If I don't have this exactly the way that I need, how am I going to navigate it? You get what I'm saying? When you sign that contract, yeah, you work for that place, but are you a boss in that regard, or are you an underling to what that is? And it doesn't. And even if you sign it, whatever. Mindset wise, what do you think? This is the other part, right? So, do you see yourself as an asset to that company or something that is working underneath that company, right? Are you claiming your power as you work with the other powers that be? Are you choosing your love as somebody else chooses their love and you learn to meet in the middle? That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I know it gets I get a little excited, start getting into some other jargon, but it's not just about taking your power back. It's about owning your power while having an open heart, someone else's power or something else's power. right? Because every like it's we get taught we're supposed to like crush each other to win. I think that's the most anti-age of Aquarius thing that you could do. You get what I'm saying? When people have the willingness to learn, when people have the willingness to change, that's when the world starts to change. When people are like, no, I'm stuck in my ways forever and I refuse to get outside my box, that's when we get into the bigotry. That's when we get into all the isms and ogenies that we can start to talk about because they never let themselves move out of that place to do something, right? Um, I went to, it's funny, I went to Middle America for the first time, I would say like a few months back. I went fishing. I was out there. Yeah, I don't know why I was like I know I was there, but it was just like, why am I here? Like it's a weird thing being in Middle America on like a farm with no service, listening to Kendrick Lamar drop heat about Drake and just being like, I am not even in the city as They Not Like Us comes out. I'm in the countryside. This is weird. And I remember I went into a grocery store. Went into a grocery store, and the people that were with me, I always kind of told them about stuff that would pop up. And as I'm going through the grocery store, it's like people are just at me. And for the first time, people with me are like, oh my God, you were serious. Like, this is actually a thing. I was like, yeah. Right. But they're like, but you're such a good person. I'm like, it's not about that. Right. They have never seen or been exposed to someone that looks like me. And if they have, they never had a time to talk to them because there's only a certain look that you get. And if you are any color in this chat other than Blanco, with all due respect, you've experienced this at some point too, right? It don't matter how good you are. That's just what people insinuate or assume. So this is where it's like the real part of that is how did I change my relationship to that? Because that used to bother me a lot, to be honest. Because I would just walk in, something, people start being weird. So I just started being kind, being myself. You know what I'm saying? I go into a place, I'm like, hey, what's up? And all the other stuff that they had before being like, who's this tall, handsome guy coming in to bother our stuff? Until like, oh, he's a paying customer. He's a guy. He's a regular person. This lunar eclipse, this not even lunar. I keep saying lunar eclipse. This solar eclipse is really gonna change the way that like that power dynamic works. So yeah. Balancing internally, realizing your power and worth. Yes, Charity, facts. Um, that's my thinking thought thing. Oh, let me see. Owning your power and respecting others. It could all be so simple, right? But it's not. It's really not. Because when people get intimidated by your light, they think that they need to crush your light to show their light, and that's not light. That's all I have to say. Um, ooh. Someone, okay, so one of your best friends in Australia is an Aboriginal and saw it in front of your own eyes a couple of months ago. The reclaim that he experiences, I was absolutely blown. Oh, the racism he experienced, he was blown away. That happens to all of us all the time. Like anybody, and I'm not to say this to like do whatever else, right? Not to say this to even, but you know what I know what? It is about this. Like this is what this is about too. So like let me get out my own ego to explain this. Yes, people are still like that. Yes, there's a reason why when I like do the stuff that I do, like I am stupidly aware that all the stuff that I do isn't about me, right? Me coming up here to do what I have to do has never been about me. But I remember that kid who I was, how lost I was trying to keep up with all the other stuff and being a true student. I was a really big student into religion. I was really into like ancient stuff. I was just trying to find like where we all came from. And ain't no singular person in my world helped me answer that at all. Preach it to the this, to the that. So that's when I started listening to everything and everyone and everybody. This is here where people are coming from. I listen to stuff where I'm like, I wholeheartedly disagree with this take. But there's other people out there that think the same thing. And does that mean that I'm right? Not necessarily. Does that mean that they're right? Not necessarily. But how do we, if I met that person who's spewing that up, I have literally, and I'm not saying this to like whatever, I have literally helped people that like were actual racists stop being racist. And I'm not saying, and this was before I did astrology. This was before I was even on that, because they just never had the exposure. They never had a real conversation. They only got told what they got told and shown what they got shown on purpose. Like they never had that actual regard. They never had that piece of that, right? We get into all this stuff about relationship stuff online. Talk about relationships online. High value man. What's a traditional woman? Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Everybody, y'all ain't go outside. Y'all ain't even be dating people for real. How you experts on dating and stuff? You ain't even be rocking with nobody. How? How? Y'all be like, don't let nobody tell your energy. You never even put your energy out there in the first place. So how do you know? Like, how do you know? And so this is where it's like, this is the difference, I would say, between you allowing yourself to know your space, honor your space, and still allow peace within other stuff. Because I get backlash from random stuff for no reason. But I do my best to approach it with a smile. And if it's something that's too much, I'll just let it go. Because like I know better. But that's just from my own experience. There had to be heartbreaks. There had to be those situations. I had to be called out my name different times. I had to deal with this thing, and I had to learn, like, yo, what power does that have over me? And when you think about your life, what power does that really have over you? Okay, your boss is racist. Now what? You still gonna have to sign in? Or you can just go do something else. This is what the solar eclipse is about. You hold that position. You can make that change. And I could sit here all day and just bring up all this stuff. I'm literally from like the New England, when New England was still there. I remember when they finally had like one safe haven in all of New England that was for people who were like LGBTQ plus, or you were from different race, like literally, you know what I'm saying? So like, we live in a different world. PC culture didn't start existing until half the internet became fake. Politically correct culture in 2016 didn't start happening until most of the internet became fake. It's all fake. It's all facade. And so if you're a real person watching this, which I'm sure you are, I'll play. Even if you're not, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? And that's where it's just on some, we need to, oh wait, hold on. You need to speak up and make people accountable for their usually unconscious projections. I think that's in some cases true, but in other cases, you just have to kind of like shine a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no better flex than for someone to be like, oh my God, you talk so well. And I'm like, oh, you enjoy my vivacious vernacular? Why would I never assume such a thing? And they're like, what? Huh? What did he just? That's fun to me. But all this to say, even in the times of hardship, even in the times of like people trying to like divide you, you have the power. You are the other person in all of those relationships. How do you show up? Let it be. It only affects you as much as you allow it. So, what's my relationship to those other random people? I don't have one for real. I'm doing my own thing. That's the other side to relationship. Can you stand on your own too? And can you be around other people that can stand on their own too? That's partnership. In my my vivacious vernacular. All right. Let it be. Facts. I'm Aries. I have to speak up with a dash of fire. I have a lot of fire in my chart too. So trust and believe. I used to do that beforehand, and then I learned not everybody's going to get it the same way. So maybe you get into that. Maybe you just keep yelling back. Live your life. You know, everybody got a different chart for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Shifting from letting them have power is hard. It's actually something I've been trying to work on. Good timing, yeah, of course. Because it's like the people who have had power over you, the decisions that you make in entertainment, the decisions that you make in other things, they all going down with this parties. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's your hero. This is your king. Or are you your own king to your life? Right? Is that your queen? Or are you the queen of your own stuff? We got to get out of this like social media world of like, this person has to be better. They're posting all the time. That's not the case. When I went viral, I was having one of the hardest times of my life on my couch, not feeling well, figuring this stuff out, inventing the concept of like even the astrological meme thing, because I was out of commission so bad. I at least wanted to make something, and I literally just came out, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna start this up. So when I see now, so far later, the same people that were asking me questions and trying to put me on the stuff, just copy and take my format and like how I try to do stuff, we could fight about it, or we could build new relationships. My relationship to YouTube is changing. I love speaking to you. I never feel like I'm working when I'm just out here chatting, yapping with y'all. It never feels like work. When I'm looking at a chart and I'm helping y'all like learn about your Venus and stuff, I don't feel like work. I'm not gonna lie, the card pulls kind of feel like work for me, but that's part of why I'm trying to transition it so I can do the stuff that I love more and provide more in that process. Now, I'm not the shining example of how all these things work. There are thousands of people who talk about stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, eclipse season is eclipse seasoning for sure. And I know that y'all are feeling it. Let me actually take the break I was supposed to beforehand. I appreciate y'all in that process. I'm going to come back in just like a minute and do the cards. I have kept off the ads for a long time, but I know that y'all, just for the love type deal for like an hour. So I'm about to turn them on as I dip out, just so I can actually get some of the ad revenue. If you want to just help in the process, just make sure that you drop in, grab a mini reading either for your Venus or for the eclipse if you just want to know what's coming up, or grab a full reading because all the sales stuff I'm doing is over on a second. So if you love my work and you have a couple dollars to you and you see that like that 90-day thing, I know there's at least 3 people in here that are doing that with me. And if y'all could do me the favor of just commenting how that's been going for y'all, I would really recommend it and I would really appreciate it, just because I'm like, that's where I get to do my real work. So for any of y'all who are in here, I know Shafali, you in here. I saw you earlier, Randall. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to just drop in a couple words, that'd be nice. Or anyone who has gotten a reading with me, period, I would appreciate that. I could cuss if I want. I'm grown. Anyway, appreciate y'all. I'll be back in just a second. Oh man, I forgot to just fix the camera. Wait, it's gonna bother me. I'm sorry. Okay, 1 second. One more time. So I just pulled one of the most rookie mistakes. That's on me. That's on me, man. It's hard being your own production company. I'm not gonna lie, but all right. I'm not actually a full production company yet. Let time do its thing though. No worries. No worries. Anyway, Hi, everybody. It's me, your boy, Maverick. Okay. Oh, y'all actually gassed me up. I was half playing. I was just like, hey guys, can you say something? 1 second. Mm, Still trying to read. I did cuss earlier. I'm gonna do it again. Um, yo, appreciate y'all. For real, for that music was nice. That is an old song that I made 5 years ago. Um, I have a lot of music I haven't put out either. I will tell my music. Okay, soon, maybe my next live stream. I'm gonna do the Pluto and Capricorn breakdown, like actually, and I'm gonna tell my story behind why I decided not to pursue the music industry, although I was right there. And it was in that 2 to 3 day span of me choosing to not do music and to pick myself and what I truly enjoyed most that I'm able to sit in front of y'all right now. I definitely want to. There's going to be story time soon. I'm putting out a lot more YouTube content in general. I'm even going to be giving y'all some background of that. But because of that, I'm going to be off of social media more because I just can't sit there on it on my phone. It drives me insane. I've been doing this for 2 years. It's too much. Specifically that part. Too long. Cool. Why would you stop the music for the beat drop? I didn't even hear it, bro. My fault. My bad. I apologize. Um, yo, y'all gassing me up over here. I appreciate y'all. Well, I will literally reach out to everybody for a full review later. I'm going to be developing my website over the course of this bit as I walk away from social media more. I'm sorry. I know y'all be like, oh, and like everything else, but see, I just picked it up right now. Just picked it up right now for no reason. I have no reason to have opened it. You see the problem? And I can address that problem within myself. And so we are going to work on it forward and get into more profound things. Because if I'm a little less distracted with the BS, I can give y'all more information. No, the real. Oh, it's to say. Oh, and if y'all just, matter of fact, I got y'all. You want to hear my music so bad? What y'all got? Y'all got Spotify? Y'all got Spotify? Screw it. 1 second. We're gonna do that real quick. Okay, 1 second. If y'all want to hear my stuff so bad, um, okay, 1 second. Boom. You just thought of me not an hour, half an hour ago. What's up? You felt that I was on. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna let y'all know. And because y'all been in for this deep, y'all clearly appreciate the lore. I do have to turn on the ads now. I apologize, but this is the next part of it, right? So people are saying, show y'all the music. Fine, y'all want to see it so bad. Cool. This right here, bam, internet. I have 2 monthly listeners. We out here. Nah, I really did care about music on a different note before I did all this. I believe that a lot of the way that I'm able, and I'm just to be honest with y'all, a lot of the way that I'm able to spew so much out. A lot of people are like, how do you do this? How do you keep doing that? I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like I made 5 songs a day for years, like for like at least 3 years. Like that's what we do. Y'all can't say I don't have my 10,000 hours and everything out. Like that's a fact. Anyway, we have a bunch of stuff. We have the knowing. We have this. If y'all really want, this are all my tapes. Y'all really want a insight into my like coming of age sonically, so to speak. This album is my baby. This album is very important to me. It's not the best audio quality wise, but I was like, how do I make the best thing ever in my room? And if y'all really want to get into some like older stuff, this is for the culture. I have a lot of stuff. Oh, this is about the song that got stolen from me. You might have heard it before. No, wait, it's this one. This one. I'm gonna just hear like 5 seconds of it. You heard that before? Ever? Just know that they saw my stuff first. That's all I have to say about it. Yes, I do think about this every once in a while, but I'm also glad it didn't happen the way that it did. So just wanted to point that out. Okay. Back to the topic. Actually forgot it. Hoes money. Oh yeah, I'm reminded. The way I put the words together properly, align them. These shouldn't never be a problem. And a ghost. Okay. Card pulls. What we came here for. All right. Okay. Peaceful, heart-wrenching soul music. My favorite quote ever. Someone was just like, yo, Mar. Listen to it. It's word for word. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, real quick, because I've never talked about something live like this. Hold on, we're gonna go to it. It's not just inspired by. That's why I want to point this out. It's not just inspired. Same with the meme things. Like, this has been happening to me for years. Time moving backwards, don't make sound. I know you so slow down. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, so this ain't new. This ain't new. Ain't new. Being an originator is annoying at a certain point, but that's okay. What we here for. I'm gonna inspire that in all y'all, so y'all can keep it rocking. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, let's get to the. Hey, bro, it is what it is. All right. So here's what we about to do. Here's what we about to do. What's the solar eclipse in Libra doing for everybody? Right? Oh, some of my old SoundCloud stuff, by the way, like you were like, if you listen to my oldest stuff, I was mad. I was also like 17, so have fun. Anyways, here is the solar eclipse. How I pull the sun card for the solar eclipse. Not even that. Hold on. How I pull the sun card for the solar eclipse and how I pull the Libra card for the solar eclipse. I always think of Libra when I think of the Queen of Swords, right? Because as I was explaining to my Libra client earlier, like Libras be on smoke. I know y'all secret, especially the lady Libras, y'all be on smoke. Y'all be always ready to tussle. But that being said, the Queen of Swords knows when to go about that, when to be on their social status, and when to utilize their knowledge, right? The sun that's coming through, this is really trying to show that like we have to let ourselves fall deeper into that general unconditional love, right? We have to let ourselves fall deeper into the space and fall deeper into our light than we have prior, right? Speaking of, there's a lot of work to do. So I have to point this out. Solar eclipse in Libra is going to probably show you all the things that you should do. It's going to bring you all the things you have to do. And it's going to bring you all the things that you ought to do. But you're going to have to work for it. Oh my God, the relationship of my dreams came through. I've done all the work. It's finally here. I guess you just started. You just started. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, this goes beyond all that. Give yourselves grace because you just started pulling through. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, which is a quote from another creative on here that I've been watching. I'm going to watch through all of their stuff because they had a video about star signs, and I disagreed. And I'm gonna take a second. Again, I disagreed, but I'm gonna take a second and then I'm gonna watch the full thing so I can get a different rendition of what's going on. Okay. I'm gonna be pulling a little less tarot because, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's mad tiring to do for like everybody individually though. Not everybody here has gotten an individual tarot reading from me, to be fair. But I'm really good. I'm just, if I choose something, we're gonna make good of it. But it's not because I'm just some stupidly talented person. I have literally worked day in and day out, do all this stuff, and I still have things I haven't even started accomplishing yet. So just know that there's always a process and trust yourself in that process. Yeah. You don't got to start over Spotify. Just go over to the one on SoundCloud. You'll be fine. YouTube also has all my music as well. Just to let y'all know. Okay. So what I'm gonna do for this one, I'm gonna start off with Libra. We're gonna hit the air signs first. So this is for the air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, but mostly your rising. Let's get it. Libra, there is work to be done, my dears. And I think part of that sun card and that other affiliation of what I just posted a second ago had a lot to do with y'all actually, because there is this like need to check. Start talking about Libra. Hey Libra, how's it going? How you doing today? Anyway, when it comes to Libra though, y'all are about to start like doing the work required. So you feel like the seat that you've been sitting on the throne has always been yours. I'm going to repeat, the seat that you're trying to get to, Libra, has always been yours. But you need to prove it to yourself with the work you're about to put in. Now, I don't think that you're going to be a stranger to this. And I think most of y'all in here know what I'm talking about. But it's like the minute that you decide, oh, what's that? To be the sun, to just let that solar eclipse take you to the next part. All you have to do is do the work that you know is required. And everyone else is going to see you as a royalty that you were like, oh, I would love to be that someday. And it's like, no, you already are. It's like, no, someday I'll be the best. It's like, if people are looking at you like that already and been giving you praise for that already, seems as though you're already there. So with the Queen of Pentacles, the more that you impactfully embrace the idea that you're already there, and you might need a little rest in the process. You might need to take some time out. Like there's a bunch of work ahead, Libra. So I think you're taking the rest that's required throughout the solar eclipse before you get into the rest of this year and beyond, to where it's like, oh, I am the queen. Oh no, being the queen means that like people need my time. Gasp. I can't just spend extra times being pretty, do stuff. Darn. That's what's coming through for y'all, Libra. Beautiful time. It's a lot of things that are changing, but it's like to have you own your own energy and to claim yourself better. So that was for Libra. I'm gonna go to Aries. I'm gonna switch it up on y'all. I'm gonna do the sister signs pairings. I got you. You're surprised. Let's go to Aries. So what's happening in the Aries on the other side? Yeah, I did that. What's up? What's up? Yeah, I gotta stay for the rest of the day now, huh? All right. For Aries, let's see what we got. Aries, we got the Hierophant. Anyway, so what we have right here, the this is the sad boy card. This is, don't cry if you need to. Five of Cups, everything has fallen. Oh no, the thing that for Aries, all the things that I suspected to happen, they're all gone. How have they all left? Why are they all gone now? Meanwhile, the two things that held you down, the two people, the two jobs, the two something, I don't know what the two things are that have held you down, right? Are still right there. You're like, oh, I have to turn my face away. How am I going to leave this thing that has been mistreating me? And it's like, dog, you are the Hierophant. Like, you know what you're doing. Aries, I don't think, like, Aries, if y'all have been dealing with people who have been disrespecting your knowledge, don't let them. And if they continue to do so, just walk away. I think when it comes to the Hierophant, it's like, would you, if you were a holy man, here's my question to you. If you were a holy man or holy lady or a high priestess, whatever it is that you want to do with that, in the Aries vibration, and some random beggar, card, dice thrower, something else tries to come up to you and tell you how like your connection to what's holy works, are you just going to listen? Are you going to be like, wow, this person knows more than me? Or do you be like, what are you talking about, fool? This is my thing. Aries, don't let people trick you out of how much knowledge that you've gained and how much wisdom that you've gained, especially if they're only looking at you from an older rendition of you. Aries, this is boss up time. And guess what? Walk away from that stuff. Whatever that you spilt or that you thought that you spilt over, Aries, by you just being yourself, walk away from that. Because that wasn't on you. That wasn't on you. But they're going to try to pin that like it was on you. And that's where it's like, nope, gotta walk away. When you walk away, you won't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Anyway, so all jokes aside, I love Kingdom Hearts. That is, if it wasn't for Kingdom Hearts, I would never be an astrologer. Anyway, continuing on. So the game makes no sense though. I will admit that. Now I'm gonna do Gemini. So we're gonna hop between the fire and air signs. So for Gemini, Let's see what we have for you. Justice. So we have the Justice card for you, Gemini. On the bottom of that deck, we have the Four of Wands. So here's the thing. With the Four of Wands, you're getting into celebration, but here's the thing. Gemini, this almost reminds me of y'all are about to get married. This is just peep me the concept. Just peep the concept with me. Gemini, y'all about to get married. Wow, all the life is celebration. Everything's good. I'm finally doing the thing that I aimed out for, right? And then this Justice card right here. This Justice card right here is the person that's popping out being like, objection. Or is it you being a person hopping out being like, objection? Why is that? Because there's a changing of the scales. There's a changing of how this is supposed to go. There's a changing of the narrative that needs to change, right? And this might have to do with you really becoming the source of like truth and the source of information, right? And here's the thing. Gemini, y'all going through a massive reset. So just know in general, Gemini, there's going to be something that you have to say that's going to make the change that you're aiming to make, but you're going to have to go through like a real transformative thing. So let's say you're like, objection, don't get married. And then the person's like, oh, okay, that's good because I always wanted to marry you. And then they're in front of everybody else like, and it's like, what happens then? Like in the movies, we've seen that happen a bunch of times. What actually happens, right? How does that actually fall out? How does that actually go on, right? So Gemini, whatever it is that you have to, objection in your life, know that it's about to change you, but know that you're about to do the thing that you need to do to get into that next part. So the justice part is like, maybe you might have to serve that bit. You know what I'm saying? You might have to focus, dog. Okay. You might have to serve that bit in that process. Focus you too, Gemini. That's what I got for y'all, right? So now I have, okay. All right, I'm gonna re-pull that one because that was a weird fall. I don't know. This one's for Sagittarius, so Sun, Moon, Rising, etc. 333, where I'm at too. Let's get it. Sag. Okay, Sag. Here's the thing. You got a pocket full of sunshine. You got a bring the sun right now. Wow. Anyway, so for Sagittarius, y'all have been kind of just like, I'm him, I'm her. We're living life. Look at us go. Wow, look at all the abundance. Wow, we're so cool. Wow. Oh, who else is as philosophical and funny as us? Oh, nobody. Oh my God, we're having a good time. But on the other side of this, it's very similar to the Libra part that I was talking about with the eclipse. You are coming into union, Sagittarius. You are finding the union within yourself, or you are finding a union in a lovely person that you've been avoiding with your fleety self. Are you scared to fall in love, Sagittarius? Are you so afraid of falling for somebody else? Sagittarius, are you worried that if you fall for someone, you will have to work alongside them? What if you try to go escape and they go to escape with you? What then? Let me stop. I don't know where that voice came from. It was a really bad take on one of the old animes I used to watch. Shout out Phase Zero. Anyway, but gotta watch that again. Actually, gotta watch that again. Anyway, yo, twin, that song was flames. There's nostalgia. Appreciate you, famo. Now I'm glad that's rocking. But for real, all the Sagittarius though, y'all about to have the same union I was singing Heartthrob for over on the SoundCloud, where I was just like, see, I'm nobody but I'm everything to you. This is your surrender. The sweet surrender to the love in front of you, Sag. Are you ready? Are you ready? And they're not gonna be boring. So that's good. But are you ready? It's coming through. That's all I have to say. Y'all know. Okay. So we're getting on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, let's see what we got for y'all. Y'all are coming up early in the queue today. I see y'all. All right. We have the Justice card as well for Aquarius. And we have the Sun card underneath here. Aquarius, I don't know if y'all been beefing with Gemini. I don't know if y'all got the same beef. I don't really know. I don't know what y'all air signs we do. But the Justice card for y'all Aquarius is like, a lot of people have been doubting your ability due to your claim to nonchalance. So a lot of people have been like, nah, they can't even do that. It's like, no, I can do that, but like, I'm not trying to force the issue. And so part of this Aquarius is y'all like actually like claiming, if you will, what it is that you do. Y'all got to pretend like y'all are Leo during the solar eclipse, and just like, because all the Leos, they're going to be a little bit more chilling. They're going to probably be, and we'll talk about them in a second. But the Leos, I see them, they're just chilling. They're just kind of like moseying about. And then Aquarius is going to stick up for themselves and be like, no, I'm him, I'm her, him, her, him. And so with that being said, the change in the transformation that also goes on within that is y'all being able to like fully get the sense of justice that y'all been looking for. So I think when it comes to this Aquarius, y'all are justice is turning in y'all favor. Yep. And it's a strength card. So Aquarius, you have to flex. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but Aquarius, y'all gotta flex. It's cool to be smart, and the smartest kid or the weird kid in the room is smart. But like, this is you being like, you have to step into that prowess. You kind of have to step into your Leo a little bit more. Like, get out your mind, get into your heart, deal with it like the rest of us. Let me stop. But yeah, that's coming through for Aquarius though. For Leo, let's see what we got for you. Let's see what's pulling through. Leo. Okay. On the bottom of this, we have the Fool. So the Fool is trying to show you like, y'all are getting into a new segue of your life, and you don't know what that looks like yet, but you just feel like everything has just changed. If you're a Leo and you keep that, drop that. But everything has just changed in a way where it's like, I couldn't make sense of it. I don't even know what's going on yet. What's really happening over here? And on the other side of things, y'all got the Page of Swords. So y'all are like, what's weird right now, Leo, is that like, I think although you're supposed to be the star, you've kind of chosen the route of being a spectator. And granted, the solar eclipse is going to be messing with y'all specifically because, you know, that's just how solar eclipses do. Like when the sun's getting messed up, why would a Leo not be like, doesn't make any sense. But what I can say though, is that with the Page of Swords, like y'all are like kind of like looking beyond. Maybe this is you being like, what, like this is like you being like, oh my God, like I have a crush on this person. I would just love if they noticed me. And it's like, have you ever reached out or expressed any type of like connection to them? Excuse me. Any type of connection to them? Like, have you expressed any type of desire towards them? And they're like, no, but like they should just know. Leo, I honestly suggest you sit this eclipse out, Leo. You got the death card. So yeah, Leo, I would sit this eclipse out in terms of like trying to force too much. There's a lot of abundance that's coming through after this cycle. But I think this is y'all kind of hitting, and for lack of better terms, like rock bottomish. And I hope that's not the case, but there really is this like real transformative part to this. It's like trying to like gear you for the rest of like, they should just know. Come on, Shafali. You know better. They ain't gonna know it. Come on. But this is that transformation. And honestly, to even speak to that, it's like this is you learning how to choose your own story. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt to say. Especially to a Leo. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's up to you to choose your own story. You don't have to just be the main character or something else. Especially if you don't even like the plot or the script or anything else that's about that. That hurt me to say. I'm sorry. Anyway, to move a little further. Let's get a little more into this. Um, Actually, I'll take that back. I realize we're almost at 2 hours. I'm gonna take my quick walk around one more time. It's a little bit warm in here. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to change. You know what I'm saying? Yes, entering my new era. We'd love to see it. Um, Before I do go to do that, I'm gonna send over this one more time. I spelled that so wrong. Right? Yeah, that's me. All right. So if y'all end up wanting to get like a mini reading for this, I'm sending them within this upcoming week, ideally before the solar eclipse, worst case, day of, day after. But I'm trying to get that through to y'all. I do work during the week now. So I do have another thing that I do, which will be the priority. But I definitely really love doing mini readings for people that are astrology. So I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get this done to do this. So just to let y'all know, I will be coming back for the water and earth signs briefly. Um, can I change a song on the fly? I'm gonna try to see if I can. 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try to change it on the fly. Okay, so I should have done it. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry. But here's another different song that you haven't heard from the same era. Okay, I'll be back. Have y'all been enjoying the music breaks for real? I just saw that a second ago. If y'all like the music breaks, I will explore more of my catalog here. See, I just changed it up. Like, see how like the colors just change everything else up? I changed nothing in the setup. These are all the weird intricacies that I've studied for no reason. I'm going to be the best at all the things. Anyway, so most importantly, reading your astrology. All right, your boy back. You out here. Let's get to the rest of these cards. I am low-key getting tired now, and I'm going to honor that in a bit, but I do want to get through the process. So we're going beyond at least the next 15 minutes. Make sure that you drop the like. If you want to get something more specific for you, obviously hit the mini reading job. If you want to get the most specific thing for you, get the full reading. If you want to be Hermathy, or Bella and Louise, whoever, I don't care. Definitely pull through for the full readings. The Astro Tarot one's been pretty fun, though, I will say. What type of... Sometimes we find hairs, they're not ours. No other comment. Okay, let's break it down. So let's start with Cancer. Get into Cancer. We're going to do the water signs. We're going to start with Capricorn. Yeah, we're going to start with Capricorn. But I always do Earth last, so I'm rock with y'all. Capricorn. Ooh, Capricorn. Oh, y'all got something. Y'all got something going on. Okay. Okay. Capricorn, we got the Wheel of Fortune for you. Shout out to Giovanna. They said, I loved your wizard cloak from the last one. You're the only one person who could pull that off. Well, I am. Can't speak to everybody. Anyway, this is for Capricorn. The Wheel of Fortune. I appreciate the compliment. All jokes aside. Much love. Thank you. So this is going to be the Wheel of Fortune here, right? But you also have to walk away, because like there's something happening Capricorn where it's like this is literally like, yo, if you just finally, it's not even about walking away. How did this Capricorn summon their reading beforehand because it gave me a compliment? That's crazy. Good for y'all though. Anyway, what I can say though when it comes to Capricorn is that when we get to this Wheel of Fortune change, this is like, oh my God, I can't leave this thing to work on my dreams. How is it going to work? I just made $30,000 in a month. Oh my God, no one sees my value and worth where I am. I just don't understand. I work so hard. Oh my God, I literally have people that want to be my employees and I have enough money to pay them. Capricorn. Capricorn. Y'all are about to get into this luck bag, yo. Do not block your own blessings based on your own expectations. This solar eclipse, I'm gonna say that one more time. Do not block your blessings when it comes to this during the solar eclipse. Trust that the wheel is turning in your. What else I got for y'all? Ooh, and the Emperor. Yeah, so leave all that other BS behind. And I mention this kind of often to people, but it's like once you just change environment. I was thinking about this earlier actually. I was like, if you change environment, first of all the stuff I'm doing right now is stuff I've been working on this whole time. I've been this way. I got like a little bit cooler as I got grown because and I got receipts. But outside of that, the concept of it is like you end up making this different way of approaching things, right? Like you just step into something new. You have to leave behind a different environment to be like revered. That's another one, right? The last environment I was in only saw me for a person having a camera. And when they asked me my opinions, they gave me a suggestions box. Now in the new thing that I'm going for, they're giving me the autonomy to do my thing because they trust in my abilities. And that was a 3-day difference. There's a 3-day difference between me having to deal with music industry BS as we're hearing right now and me doing what I'm doing now. So give yourself this solar eclipse to be your 3-day difference for you to accept luck in your life, for you to know that wherever you go and are valued, you're going to keep capitalizing on. That's all I got to say for that. Kept telling her she was blocking her blessings. Yep. That's been a big quote from me in the last 2 months. Better stop. Like, why do I keep coming up with the same thing? Because people be trying to do it, you know? Anyway, that's for Capricorn. Let's get over to Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Mostly your rising. Cancer, we got the Ace of Swords, which in order for you to get, you gotta leave it in behind. So Cancer and Capricorn, y'all are like, yo. And as soon as you're out, guess what? Guess what, Cancer? All your ideas come through. Libra, sorry. For Cancer, I think this is a little bit different for you though. Dude, it's a little different for you. Because where I think Cap's more of like I'm moving on to like what's better in a sense. Y'all are walking away from the idea that you're incapable. I think for a lot of Cancers, like y'all are getting into the information. Y'all are actually getting out of your feelings enough to like fight through those thoughts, fight through those old renditions of things, like fight through what you expected life to be. That straight up, just like that. Excuse me. But that's part of the concept of all this, is that Cancer, y'all are breaking through in terms of like leaving a lot behind. Facts, not just leaving a lot behind, knowing why it's worth leaving behind is another side to this. So just to give you that context, give you that approximation, I would say, of the way that that's supposed to go, that's what I would say. I don't have anything else for y'all, Cancer. I know I was a little more straight up, but like, oh, Judgment card. Yeah, okay. Oh, Cancer, Mars. Yeah, now you right. That's part of why this is happening too. And we also have the Judgment card, Cancer. If you don't claim how powerful you are, somebody else is going to claim your power as their own. Don't let that happen. I just wanted to be dramatic, but it's true. Okay. All right. Let's get on over to Virgo. Talk about Virgo. Okay, Virgo, it's your time now. Yeah. Virgo, you got work to do. You got a bunch of work to do. You try to do too much. And now you dealing with your ambition. Why you try to do the most and you thought that you was gonna be the one sitting down and not doing the work required because you know you smart, but they try to throw all the projects at you anyway. And now you like, I thought that I was the king and you still are, but you gonna have to work like you was broke. Hey, anyway, no, honestly, apologies. But honestly, when it comes to the Virgo portion of things, and I know all the Virgos that are watching this right now, just you're welcome. Anyways, but genuinely speaking, like when it comes to this 10 of wands, right? This is one of those like situations to where it's like y'all bit off more than you can chew, thinking that you could like distribute it to other people. And then when you looked at the other people, like, oh, you're supposed to do my work for me, they're like, and so now you're like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. There's so many things I have to do. But here's the thing. You can chew. Like, I think what happens is people think we get into positions or seats of power and now the work's done. Oh, we did it. We got to the thing. We're done. Right. One of the most prestigious things that used to be way more respected, I would say, was like being the president in general. When you think the president got into office, you think his job stopped. When that person became the best Olympian in the world, you think they just stopped doing stuff? No, they had to keep doing this. But because I think that y'all were kind of assuming it wasn't going to be a lot of work, or y'all were assuming that y'all could get by in a certain way, the work has like quadrupled itself. So Virgo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all gonna have to show out. Y'all gonna have to actually show out. And don't let it break you. And whenever you're like thinking too much, think smarter, not harder. You get what I'm saying? Way more respectable for facts. But it's just like you keep pushing ideas without understanding the legwork behind it, which is really unlike y'all. Which is why I'm kind of like, man, this whole eclipse kind of throwing y'all for a doozy. Like it is a lot of work still. Even things that are stupid end up becoming a lot of work. So don't be afraid of the work. Don't shy away from it. Step into it because your payoff will be greater than a lot of other people's if you actually do it proper. Did I do Pisces yet? No. My little fishes. All right, let's get to Pisces, right? Oh, I had a drop. Okay, so that's what I got to say to that. I'm sorry, I had to burp, and it's a long story. Anyway, you're welcome. I'm sure some Pisces has giggled at this now. Anyway, but the Page of Swords, Pisces, you had the Judgment card. This is a similar vibe to I think what Leo's going through. Similar vibe to what Leo's going through, but it's like y'all have to look beyond just what you're feeling and at the opinions of other people in a way that kind of makes y'all uncomfortable. It's almost like Virgo and Pisces feel a little flip flops right now. Where it's like Virgo's like, I gotta pick up all this work. I'm stressing. And Pisces is like, oh, I get to just kind of see things and figure it out and take my notes along the side of myself, right? So I know a lot of Pisces that are like workaholics, honestly. I know a lot of Pisces that get thrown into the mix and they have to just do everything. Pisces, I think this time frame for y'all is going to teach y'all how to pace yourselves. And not only that, it's going to remind you of how far you've come. And I think if there's nothing else the eclipse does is that it is trying to show you how far you come. But you're looking almost to like, you might be feeling the grass is greener on the other side trope coming through. That's really what I'm feeling with that. And it might be. But just keep following your hunches, Pisces. I think this is going to be one of those like download times for y'all. I don't even want to say put action or nothing crazy. Like just download, exist, enjoy. The wisdom is on its way. But you can't force the wisdom. It's a process. Okay. Sorry, that's a little vague, but I hope the Pisces do feel that. This is y'all be just all the time. It's always weird to explain. That's okay though. Anyway, moving on, we're going to the last two. Let's talk about Taurus. Let's get to Taurus. My body is doing weird things now on stream. That's okay. All right. It's indeed giving North Node of Pisces and South Node of Virgo. You're a right house cat. All right. Taurus. I love how I pull Taurus and I'm like, about to say something nice to y'all. I'm about to be like, oh, Taurus, death card. No, the death card. The solar eclipse is going to smack y'all upside y'all head about how y'all been dealing with like relationship structure. I'm not gonna lie. Why is that, Taurus? Because y'all have been so busy with trying to uphold whatever y'all trying to uphold that y'all forgot to feel through it. Oh no. Oh no. The feelings still happen. Oh no. Wait, the feelings are still on the way. I thought if I outmaneuvered and outpositioned myself, I would never have to feel the folly of my own ways. Taurus, you gonna deal with this change, dog. Y'all hard, stubborn. I had a difference. Cardinal signs are hard-headed. Fixed signs are stubborn. That's what I'm sticking with. But yes, so like the stubbornness that y'all been having, it's not working out. And y'all are gonna hold on to it. Like literally, it's just like the ground is shifting, and you're like, nope. And it's like literally there's a paradise down here. It's like, what's paradise? I'm not ready for it. It's like, no, this is better than all this. I don't want it. But it's like literally everything you want. No. Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. You gotta feel your feelings. I know you hate all this. I know. But you gotta feel emotion deep from the heavens above. Because that's what's going to be really pushing y'all forward. Oh, wait, what's that? Death card? Feel your feelings? The Fool. You can do anything you want. It's all for a reason, dog. So yes, you do have to feel. But gosh darn, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, but that's pretty much the idea of all this, right? The Fool card is going to take y'all into this new perspective afterward, but you have to go through that emotional side first. So, yeah. Anyway, should I drop an album for the end of the year just because? I don't know. Just thought about it. I could. I'm not going to be on social media as much, so I really just might. We'll see. Which is funny because I noticed like every astrologer does music now. It wasn't like that always. It was like me, shout out Mike, Peace Dealer, been making music. Some other people been making music too. But now it's like a lot of, oh, that's weird. It's a weird cross section of things, isn't it? So I don't know how I just caught that like that. But we out here. So this is going to be, do it. Stop yelling at me. I'm pulling cards. I'm yelling at you. I bet. If it comes to you, go for it. I might. It's been like 2 years? 2 years? Yeah. Yeah, I put out Prometheus when I decided there's a song on Prometheus where I was like, crap. What did I say? I said something's the only option. Creation is the only option. And then I started went super hard on the Astro stuff. It looks terrible. Thank y'all for sticking with me. Anyway, Scorpio, man. I'm gonna pull some cards for you. Tell you what's going on with your upcoming solar eclipse. I hope you like it. Wow, it looks like you're gonna have a fun time, Scorpio. It looks like all the shadowy rainbows that you end up existing in is gonna like come through for real. No, honestly, genuinely speaking, the solar, I'm getting goofbally. We've been live for a long time. But what I can say is that when it comes to this 10 of Cups card, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are finally getting into some more of abundance. I think y'all had a tough summer, Scorpio. I'm not gonna lie. Scorpio, y'all had a tough summer. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was Uranus and Taurus that was messing with y'all, to be honest. But like, y'all had a tough summer. And this, now you're getting into the Empress card, though, right? Like, I think it was Scorpio starting to feel their worth in the places they didn't feel it before. Because that worth isn't coming from the expectations of other people. It's not coming from the expectations of how well did I shaboink with you. Like, it's not coming through with that. It's actually coming from like, oh, we're here. Oh, I have done these transformations. Scorpio, actually, I really do suggest that you look back in your life, whether like Facebook memories, get you a time hop, relook at your MySpace just so you can see how many transformations you've gone through. And I think you're gonna start to be like, oh shoot, really be doing this transformation thing, right? Like there's so many different phases of Scorpio that Scorpio goes through because Scorpio is always finding what's real to them at that moment. So what's real for you from this moment is that you're entering into your queenlyhood. You're entering into your peace. You're entering into your progress and power, right? On the other side of that, y'all probably got to go ship somebody. So my suggestion, Scorpio, is that like I know I just said a bunch of stuff about, oh, you're gaining your power. Oh, you're getting into celebration. Your celebration is finding someone to match your freak and shaboinking with them. So that's my guideline for you, Scorpio. I ain't gonna lie. I literally just picture y'all being like to somebody and then you just getting like the eureka moment of like, I know what I must do. And they're like, where are you going? Like, my pants are on. They're like, where are you going? It's like, bye. And it's like, huh? Scorpio, I feel like just in general, y'all are going to gain a lot more insights through intimacy over the course of this next week. And if you don't have a partner to do it, yeah, you do. Yeah, Scorpio. Scorpios be like, oh God, nobody. Scorpio's like, no one that likes me. No, nobody wants to like sign a full pact with you before they get to kiss you. Like, no, that's not what they're doing. But it seems like there's some exploration along the way with that, Scorpio. Just saying. There's a special somebody. Maybe there's somebody. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Okay. Aside from that, ending off on a note here. I'm sorry. Too much of a goofball for this sometimes. Okay. I am gonna go. I'm tired. It's hot in here. It's not as hot as it was during the summer though. It's crazy. But I do appreciate y'all for pulling up. Show I'm gonna get hot because I'm going in. I'm just anyway, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for listening to me yap. Thank y'all for buying the mini readings. Thank y'all for checking out the Venus masterclass after this too. I appreciate you in advance. I already know that you clicked on it. It's in the other tab. We're gonna watch it right now. That's crazy. I how did I know? So wild. And you bought the mini bro. Wow. Wow. No, I'm just manifesting. Anyway, appreciate y'all for pulling through. Hope all the best on the solar eclipse. I'll probably do like a short form thing, but honestly, please just keep following my work on YouTube. I want to put all my time into this. I hate the social media game right now. I know how to gain 20K more followers. I don't want to do it. I know how to. I'm gonna do it for other companies. That's fine. But anyway. Again, thank y'all for listening to me yap, supporting my creative journey, and just like I'm so happy to be able to reflect these things back for y'all. It's imagine this just stayed in my head all day. And I was like, I could totally hear the Planet series with young Chad. You leave young me alone. I was trying. I didn't know what I was doing. I actually do have facts in there. I'm not gonna lie. I have advanced and evolved past a lot of the older Venus ones that I've done. As you can see in a new masterclass, but they're still valid. I just didn't know how to present well. It's okay. We live, we learn. So thank y'all for showing up to my show. Appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, pull up. Have a good one. Stay beautiful.